to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, you are listening to episode 131, Recession-Proof Your Career. Welcome to the show, everyone. So just take a quick moment, give the show a rating review on Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it. It really helps the show to grow. In fact, it's the number one way that you can help this show to be found. I appreciate it so much. So thank you guys for listening. And man, life has just been good, full and busy and amazing. I love fall. It's a beautiful time of year in Virginia. My daughter's in seventh grade. Big mistake there. Slip of the tongue, Freudian slip, right? Oh my goodness. No, she's in middle school. She's in seventh grade, and husband's doing well, working full time at his job, also running for town council here in our little town in Northern Virginia. And right after this, I am going to go apple picking with my daughter in Winchester. So fun things, really getting out and enjoying fall. The business has done nothing but grow. We're growing and glowing on every front. I have so much to be grateful for, especially you as the listeners and clients. And I'm really just excited about finishing out this record-breaking year really strong and charging ahead into 2023, as I can't believe the year is almost over. And one of the things that I want to talk about very timely as we wrap up this year, which was still tumultuous, I know, for a lot of people, is the recession. If we're in it, I don't know if we're in one for sure. I think there's some debate about that. But regardless, there's definitely been some bleak economic times and situations for a lot of people over the last 2 years. And it's not over yet. We will pull through from it, but I think that there is some more challenges ahead for the U.S. and for the world. But what I want to share today are some strategies that you can adopt and act upon immediately to help you navigate and be prepared for what might or might not be ahead. But we always want to be prepared. And like I said, I'd love to tell you that everything's just going to be peachy keen in 2023. But I don't know exactly what is in store. And I don't know where the economy is going to be. None of us really knows absolutely for sure. There is light at the end of the tunnel, undoubtedly, but who knows, right? But we've seen hard times before, haven't you? I know you have, and I know I have. So we're going to get through it no matter what. But I think this is a good time to take an episode and really go through how can you work to make yourself as employable as possible and recession-proof your career? And I have a lot of ideas on how to do this and how you can be well-positioned to navigate a potential setback, such as a layoff. Okay? Let's dive in. Let's just get to it, guys. Number one, I'm going to do a little countdown. And I think I have 6. Yeah, I've got 6 good strategies for you guys here. So number one, keep your skills updated. I think this is the most basic advice that I can probably give you. And it's so important. It's the foundation. Staying up to date on whether it's technology, that's incredibly important for everyone in this increasingly digital world we live in. But whatever skills are relevant to your specific industry, it might be something technical, it might not be. But think about, is there a certification that you've been wanting to get but putting it off? Is there an online course that you can take? Think about what will make you competitive in your field and close that gap if there is a skill gap. Got to do that. Make sure you are doing everything you can to make yourself as marketable and current and relevant as possible. Nearly every field has some kind of courses, certifications, something that you can take, from technology to marketing to sales, HR, They all have their own kind of professional development and the gold standard of certifications. And if you're not sure what that is, have a talk with someone. Talk with your boss. Ask them for feedback on what skills they think it would make sense for you to acquire for your professional development. Or if your boss sucks and you feel more comfortable, go to somebody else in your network for advice. Somebody else who's in the same line of work, maybe. What types of things are they doing to stay up to date on their skill set? This is a great talking piece for networking conversations. It's a great reason to reach out to your network, right? Oh, and speaking of your network, that's number 2. Expand your network and get in touch with them. This is another no-brainer. This is just good advice year-round, no matter what the economy is like. But you will be even more glad if a recession does hit or you get laid off that you have a quality network that you can engage in your search. I've got lots of other podcasts that go into a lot more depth about this, so I'm not going to revisit the nitty gritty of networking and what to say and how to do it. There's a lot of podcasts and blogs that I've done on that topic. So go dig back into the archives or even email me. Really, and I will tell you which ones to sink your teeth into. I'm very approachable. And of course, you can always coach with us too, and we'll teach you how to do it. This is one of the cornerstones. We have some specific methodologies for networking. It makes it so much more effective and comfortable. But networking never goes out of style, all right? When it's done right, it's efficient, effective, and enjoyable. Yes, there is some work involved. There's always going to be work involved in a job search. We got to get over that, right? But the more you do your networking and building of relationships now, the easier it will be when you're in a job search and you actually need to leverage those relationships. So don't wait. Start setting up calls to get in touch with people that you know today. I have a number of people that I periodically check in with me about once a quarter. We just set up calls and we chat and we say, how can I help you? What's going on? How's your business? I love it. It's conversational. It's fun. There's no pressure. And that's how it should be, right? So if you already have a relationship with somebody, there's really no work involved. That's really what we're shooting for in networking. So, that's what I want you to think about is how can I take this time now and meet some new people or get in touch with people I haven't talked to in a while, set up quarterly calls to just check in and see how people are going and build that relationship. You will be glad you did. Okay. Number 3, become indispensable. It's even more important in the time of a recession to make sure that you are performing your best and indispensable to your employer. Now, keep in mind, what I'm not saying is this doesn't mean that you need to be a kiss ass or work overtime or do any more than it should be reasonably expected of you. But I do want you to find ways to go above and beyond and improve your job performance if you can. It might just mean working a little smarter, not necessarily longer, but think of ways that you can add value. What is the bottom line that your employer expects from you? How do you impact the business? Get creative about ways that you can be even more resourceful in saving the company money or time, gaining new customers, whatever it might be. Now is not the time to be complacent in your career. You want to be performing better than ever. And I know this because I'm always thinking of ways that I can be more effective and more indispensable to my customers and my clients, right? So I go through this process as well. I'm always reevaluating the program. Are there new services that we can offer? Is there a more efficient way we can operate? How can we get people their resumes faster? I have to go through this too and stay on my toes and not get complacent because I've got competition. People could go work with somebody cheaper. A lot of people are a lot cheaper. But the reason that we can charge so much is because we're awesome at what we do. And we are dedicated to having a fantastic customer experience, producing a high quality product, and being indispensable to our clients. So you can do that as well in your job. All right. All right, there's 3 things that you can do. Sink your teeth into that for a minute. Let's take a quick commercial break. I've got 3 more good strategies for recession-proofing your career, so don't go anywhere. We're only halfway through. Hey
Hey guys, we're on a break for a minute, and I want to tell you about something exciting going on at careeruprising.com. I have an online store that I created just for you. It has a variety of low-cost resources that will give you the boost that you need in your career, and they offer a great introduction to what it would be like to coach with me. I've got ebooks, meditations, and other resources for you to take advantage of and start getting help today. These products are instantly downloadable, priced incredibly low, and cover many aspects of career transitions. Head on over now to the store while you're listening to the show. It's at careeruprising.com/store. That's careeruprising.com/store. Now let's get back to the show.
Okay, we're back. So let's go to number 4, way that you can recession-proof your career. Always keep one eye open for new positions, even if you're happy. So if you at all suspect a layoff might be coming, and a lot of people do. I have a lot of people tell me that as a reason why they signed up to work with us, because they want to be proactive and they think that things are kind of shifty where they're working. You need to be proactive about looking for something else. Look out for number 1. And honestly, even if you don't suspect anything, it's not a bad idea to just keep one eye out. It doesn't mean you're quitting. You like the tone of voice I said that with? It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. But it does mean that, you are just being prudent and being proactive. Look at the job boards every now and then. Touch base with your network from time to time to talk about potential opportunities, even if you're not sure that you're going to make a move at all. Make sure you have your documents updated as well and ready to go in case you do see a good opportunity. Again, this is really just smart advice in general. It's funny how the things I'm recommending are just timeless, and I think that makes sense, right? These are things that we should be doing anyway. We can recession-proof our careers all the time. So peruse the job boards every now and then, okay? Do quarterly calls with your network. Stay up to date with companies. Follow companies on LinkedIn or Google as well. See who's growing, see who's hiring, and be ready at any time to position yourself for an opportunity should it open up. Number 5, this one might surprise you, but don't count it out. Don't roll your eyes at me, all right? Start a side income. You might not have expected this strategy, but hear me out. And for those of you who work full-time, I know you're working a lot of hours probably, but it might be easier than you think to start a small side hustle or even just an LLC, a consulting firm. Many people do it. And when I first started my company, Career Uprising, I still had a full-time job and I was seeing clients on the side and I had a young child. So I know it can be done. Everybody's situation is unique, but I don't want you to count out the gig economy and the potential for creating a second stream of income on the side. You would be so glad you did if you did get laid off from your job. Can you imagine how good that would be to know that you have this other side thing, whether it's real estate or photography? I've seen a lot of people have side jobs. There's no better way to recession-proof your career than have a second stream of income. Even if it's a small part-time, it's better than nothing, and it could really make the difference if you did lose your job. Like I said, the things that I've seen most commonly, a lot of people have a creative outlet like photography. They'll do that on the weekends, or some other kind of artistic hobby. Something that's completely different sometimes than what they do in their day job. And I always find that fascinating. In fact, to give you a great example, my family just recently had some portraits taken. We're going to be on the cover of a local magazine here in Purcellville. So we had our picture taken and we were chatting with the photographer, and I assumed she was a full-time photographer, but I learned she was actually a full-time air traffic controller. And she just did photography on the side. What? How cool is that, right? That was so unexpected. And it made her all the more interesting too. So if you were to start a small business, what would it be? Start thinking about that. Don't just get curious, get creative. It could be, I know you might be thinking, oh, that's not for me, or I don't have time for that. Those are limiting thoughts. Not necessarily. You need to have time to recession-proof your career, okay, and make more money. That is a high priority. So maybe it's not feasible for everybody, but it's probably feasible for a lot more people than you think. I did it. The girl taking our photos did it. It's been done, okay? It's nothing new, and it's absolutely feasible for you. So think about how you could monetize something that you are good at or enjoy doing on the side. Okay, number 6, get your finances in order. What I mean by that is be strategic. So a couple of years ago, my husband and I really decided to commit to this. So we now sit down with a financial advisor once or even twice a year to review all of our accounts, savings, investments, and everything, 401ks, and we talk about all of those things. We've opened up investment accounts. We've increased our 401k. We've built up our savings. We've paid off debts. It's so much easier to do that when you have a plan and when you have a professional advising you who knows these things. A good financial advisor can walk you through all of these things and help you learn things that you didn't know, prepare for things that you didn't think you needed to prepare for. They can help you prepare for a job loss or a recession. You need to do this if you haven't been doing it already. If you live in the Virginia area, happy to refer somebody to you, okay? I love my financial advisor. It's typically recommended, too, that you build up your savings reserve, something equivalent to at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses. This, like I said, this is something that my husband and I have now that we have committed to, and we don't let it fall below a certain point. All right? Think about how you can pay off those debts. I've been paying off the student loans. That feels so good. Paid them off myself. We won't go into that debate, but I'm paying them off myself. And just as somebody who's done this and made a lot of headway on paying down her debt, building up her savings, and being more strategic about her finances, I can tell you, you will be glad you did this, whether we have a recession or not. Okay. There you have it, guys. You've got a lot of work to do. You've got 6 things: updating your skills, expanding your network, becoming indispensable, keeping your eye out for new positions, starting a side hustle, and meeting with your new financial advisor. There you go. Even if you acted on just 2 or 3 of these things, I think you would see a big difference. Okay, that's it. I hope that was helpful. I will be back it'll be November. So have a happy Halloween, and I'll have another show soon. All right? Take care, guys.
That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show was brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.